Hey, welcome back to Rabbit Hole Reviews. Today we're going to do a product review on an ammo can made by Black Sierra Equipment. These are ammo cans that I found on Amazon, actually. So I bought this, I think this is my sixth one that I've got. They come in this color here, the OD green. I also have them in desert tan, and they also come in a black, a flat black. So these are an interesting ammo can. One thing you need to kind of know about them is that they are $60 a piece. So that's something you really want to think about, whether you want to have a can of this type for that amount of money, especially given the fact other ammo cans and other storage options that you have out there being considerably less than 60 bucks. But let's get into some of the specs real quick. So the product dimensions on this can are 16 inches long, 9¼ inches wide, and 5½ inches high. We're going to go ahead and compare that in a little bit to other offerings out there, the traditional 50 cal and the 30 cal cans. But aside from the $60 price tag and the 8 pounds empty weight, what does this can really offer you over the 50 cal, the 30 cal, some of the polymer options out there, all the different kinds of ammo cans and storage options that you have? Well, so I like these cans for a couple of reasons. One, they're very well made. They're very durable. They are lockable, which we'll see in a little bit. Unlike a lot of, well, the military cans are not lockable. And not unless they've been retrofitted with some sort of a loop to put a lock through. So these already come with that. And so that's an option. They're stackable, which is nice, which most ammo cans are stackable, but these are definitely more flat, and most of the weight and the surface area is spread out. So you're not going to have to stack them quite as tall as 30 cal and 50 cal cans, because these are only 5½ inches high, where the other cans are slightly higher. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at some of this stuff. So right now, what I'm doing with these cans is that I'm, of course, using them for ammo storage. Primarily, well, actually, all of the cans that I bought so far store 7.62 by 39 ammo. So here's for size comparison. You can see. So if I'm buying cases of Barnaul in a cardboard box, I'm going to go ahead and break down the cardboard box, and then store these individual 20-round boxes in a can like this. So in this case, this Barnaul ammo, you can store 42 boxes of those in there, which ends up being 840 rounds stored. So similar to a spam can. The downside to that is that if you load 840 rounds of 7.62 by 39, you're looking at a weight of 40½ pounds, of which 8 of which is that can's weight. So not exactly man-portable to have a can of this dimensions that weighs over 40 pounds. This is more of a long-term storage option. What I like about cans like these is that you can store odd size things in here that you wouldn't be able to store in, say, a 50 cal can or a 30 cal can. You can store, 7-8 inch long barreled revolvers in here, all kinds of different gear. So we'll go ahead and open it up real fast so you guys can get a quick look. So as you can see here, here's the locking mechanism. And if I have a lock somewhere, oh, I actually do. You can see that the loop is big enough to accommodate your standard master lock style bolt thickness, right? So you don't have to put a little hobby lock on here. It will actually correctly store or correctly fit a lock of this type, which is nice. So I don't currently lock mine, but that's an option. So we'll go ahead and open it up. When you get these delivered, they come with a foam insert, which is nice. So if you were to store things like firearms or some items that you don't want to have broken, that's a nice option. You're going to get your typical silica gel, and then when you take the foam out, it's a generous several inch thick piece of foam. I kind of wish they would have come with 2 of these, because if you were going to store a firearm, you'd need at least 2 of these pieces of foam to keep it in place. But your mileage may vary on that. It's very nice. Of course, it has a typical handle like you'd see on a 50 cal or a 30 cal can. And we'll go ahead and see if I have some space to compare a 50 cal can to this one from Amazon. So you're looking at roughly twice the storage capacity. And here you go. You see again a typical 50 caliber can. In this case, storing the same type of ammo, obviously less of it, several hundred rounds less of it. So there is a trade-off. You know, you're looking at 40 pounds full with 760 by 39. This one I haven't weighed, but of course it's going to be less because it holds less ammo. And then of course you have my favorite, which are the 30 caliber cans, which I will move. And you can see, so now the 30 cal can is my go-to, mainly because it's man portable. You can take this and put this in the bottom of a ruck and transport it. The weight is not that prohibitive. It probably weighs about as much as one of those old combat radios from the 60s, maybe a little bit lighter. So that just gives you a reference. I like 30 caliber cans. Now the downside is that your ammo storage is going to be considerably reduced, especially if you have larger ammo boxes. So I think a can like this from Desert Sierra Outfitters is going to be good, like if you're storing 50 caliber ammo, things like that, that require larger sizes. That, of course, a 30 and a 50 cal can are not going to be as good for you. It holds a ton of different magazines. I'll go ahead and give you a size comparison. If you were to store magazines, you could probably put, I would say, if you take the foam out and you stack these, you're probably looking at about 20 magazines that you could store in here. So you'd store them this way and then keep going. All right, so some of these are loaded, some of these are not. These are just pulled from storage. So you could imagine as you could keep going, if you wanted to store magazines, you definitely have the option to do that. Better than a 30 or a 50 cal can. So right there we've got, 5, 6 magazines, 7. Let's see how far this is going to go. And then of course, once you're done stacking or setting these in, you can stack on top, right? So just imagine it like this. And then possibly more. So you're looking at probably 15, 17, 19, probably over 20 magazines would fit in here if you're creative. That just gives you an idea of the size. I'm not currently using these for magazines, but they are good for that. So again, you're looking at a $60 price point for an ammo can. That's something that you really have to decide whether a can of this dimensions that's lockable. And it's well made. It's got a rubber seal like your typical mil-spec cans. I would never call anything waterproof, but these are definitely water resistant. And so you really have to decide, is a can of this type really worth it? I think if you'd want to have something like this for a roadside assistance kit, it's good for medical. So I think in a can of this dimensions, you could put a combination of whether it be first aid equipment, flares, something you'd probably want to keep in a Jeep or a truck, just for maintenance, things like that. So this is kind of just an odd hack review, nothing technical, but I've been buying these for on and off for a couple months now. And so my primary use right now is ammo storage, but depending on my needs, I may start configuring these to be like bug out or sustainment cans inside of vehicles that would carry just your basic stuff, right? So that's all I have for you on this one. This has been a quick product review on the Black Sierra Equipment Ammo Can on Amazon.